The moment you start treating yourself like a priority, the world will have no choice but to follow. Let that sink in, because right now, there's someone in your life who thinks they can walk all over you, disappear when they feel like it, and still have a reserved seat in your world. They've grown comfortable with your kindness, your patience, and your loyalty because you showed them they never had to earn it, and that's on you. No more excuses, no more, but they love me, no more, maybe they'll change, no more, I just have to prove my worth. If they haven't seen it by now, they don't deserve another second of your time. Before we dive in, hit that like button, subscribe, and stay with me, because today you're about to flip the script on them. Now picture this. You're at a bakery every morning. You smile, you pay on time, and you never complain. But every single day, they hand you stale bread. They know you'll take it, so they don't bother giving you anything fresh. And you keep coming back, hoping one day they'll change. Tell me, does that sound smart? That's exactly what you're doing when you keep showing up for people who don't value you. You're handing them your love, your energy, your loyalty, while they give you the emotional equivalent of day-old leftovers. And then you wonder why they don't respect you, why they don't text back, why they only show up when they need something. It's because they never had to fear losing you. They've always known that no matter how little they give, you'll still be there waiting. Wake up. They already know your worth. They just don't care. And why would they? You made it too easy. You trained them to believe they didn't have to work for your time. You became their emotional safety net, their backup plan, their comfort zone. And here's the truth. When someone gets too comfortable with your presence, they stop valuing it. So what happens when you take that comfort away? What happens when you stop reaching out? When you stop explaining yourself? When you stop being their emotional punching bag, their convenient little option, and start acting like the high-value person you actually are? I'll tell you what happens. They feel it. They wake up one day and you're gone. Your energy missing, your attention nowhere to be found, your kindness given to people who actually deserve it. And that's when it hits them, not through words, not through begging, not through some dramatic goodbye text, but through your absence. Because listen, my friends, people don't regret losing you when you cry. They regret losing you when they see you thrive without them, when they realize they no longer have access to the version of you they took for granted, when they see you moving forward while they're stuck exactly where you left them. And by then, it's too late. But here's the kicker. This isn't about them. This isn't about making them miss you. This is about you waking up and refusing to let another person play games with your worth. This is about you realizing that the only reason they were able to take you for granted is that you allowed it. And today, that stops. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to stop explaining yourself, stop proving yourself, stop waiting for them to realize what they had. And most importantly, you're going to make damn sure they never get a second chance to take you for granted again. If you're done being the always available person that people walk all over, drop a comment right now. I refuse to be taken for granted. Say it, own it, live it, and press that like button, subscribe, and stay with me, because what's coming next is going to make sure that no one, and I mean no one, ever dares to take your presence lightly again. Number 1, stop begging for respect. You're the problem. You teach people how to treat you by what you allow, what you stop, and what you reinforce. Let that sink in, because right now, you're sitting there wondering why they don't respect you, why they ignore your texts, why they cancel plans like your time is disposable, why they disappear for weeks only to return like nothing happened. The real question isn't why they do it, it's why you let them. Think about it. Would you ever walk into a store where they hand out free luxury watches at the door? No price, no effort. Just take one and walk out. You might grab one, maybe even two, but would you value it? Would you treat it like something rare? No. You toss it in a drawer with the rest of the junk you never paid for. That's exactly how they see you. You made yourself free. You handed over your time, your patience, your loyalty without making them earn it. You gave them the best parts of you, expecting them to see your worth on their own. But people don't value what's always available. They don't appreciate what they don't have to fight for. And now they've learned the game. They know they can come and go as they please. They know you'll pick up when they call, even after they've ignored you for days. They know they can get your attention with the bare minimum, a half-hearted apology, a dry "miss you," a last-minute "hey, what's up?" And you'll still give them your energy. And the worst part, they don't even feel guilty about it because you trained them to believe that no matter what they do, you'll stay. Wake the hell up. You're not losing them. They already lost you the moment they stopped valuing you, the moment they stopped putting in effort, the moment they started treating you like an option instead of a priority. But you're still acting like they haven't lost you yet, and that's why they don't respect you. See, people don't just magically wake up one day and decide to respect you. You show them how to do it. Respect isn't begged for. It isn't handed out like a participation trophy. It's demanded, and right now you're demanding nothing. And I know what you're thinking, but if I stop trying, what if I lose them? Listen to me. You already lost them the second they stopped trying for you. And what are you really afraid of? That they'll move on, that they'll forget you, that they'll replace you? Newsflash. They already acted like they don't care. They already treated you like you didn't matter. They already showed you exactly what they think of you. But you ignored it. You made excuses. You told yourself they're just busy. They don't mean it. Maybe they'll change. Lies. Every single one of them lies you told yourself because the truth was too painful to accept. Because the truth means you'd have to do something about it. You'd have to walk away. You'd have to face the silence. You'd have to sit with yourself instead of running back to them for comfort. And that's terrifying, isn't it? Because deep down, you think their validation gives you worth. You think their attention makes you somebody. You think if you stop chasing, if you stop trying, if you stop being available, you'll disappear. But here's the truth. You don't disappear when you stop chasing. You finally become visible. Because right now, you're not seen. You're just there like background noise, like furniture in the room, always present, never noticed. And the only way they'll ever feel your absence is if you finally give it to them. And no, I'm not telling you to play games. I'm telling you to stop playing yourself. Stop giving discounts to people who don't even know your value. Stop lowering your price just to keep them interested. You are not on clearance. You are not an afterthought. You are not someone they get to pick up and put down whenever they feel like it. And if they can't see that, let them go blind. Because the moment you stop being available, the moment you stop picking up, the moment you remove yourself from their cycle of comfort, that's when the panic sets in. That's when they start asking questions. That's when they finally realize that they never really had you. They just had access to you. And now that access is gone. And here's the best part. This isn't just about making them regret losing you. This isn't about them at all. This is about you realizing that the only reason they were able to take you for granted is that you let them. And today, that stops. You are not someone's second choice. You are not their backup plan. You are not a placeholder until something better comes along. You are the damn prize. And if they can't see that, if they can't appreciate that, then they don't deserve to have you. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to stop explaining yourself, stop proving yourself, stop begging for the bare minimum, and most importantly, you're going to make damn sure they never get another chance to take you for granted again. Now, if you're done being an afterthought, if you're done being taken lightly, if you're done letting people treat you like an option, then drop a comment right now. I will never be a backup plan. Say it. Own it. Show the world. and hit that like button, subscribe, and stay with me, because what's coming next is going to make sure that no one, and I mean no one, ever dares to take you lightly again. Number 2, disappear, not for them, but for you. You never truly see someone's value until they stop showing up. Let that hit you, because right now, you think if you just say the right words, if you just explain yourself one more time, if you just send one last message, they'll finally understand what they're losing. They won't. You could write them a heartfelt letter, pour your soul into a conversation, beg them to see your worth, and they still wouldn't get it. Not because they're incapable, not because they don't have ears, but because they don't care enough to listen. People don't wake up because of words. They wake up because of absence. And right now, you're too damn present. They know exactly where to find you. They know you'll be there if they change their mind. They know that no matter how long they ignore you, you'll still be waiting, checking, hoping. And that's why they feel no urgency to do better. It's like a chair in the corner of the room. It's always there. No one really notices it. No one thinks about what life would be like without it. But the moment someone walks in and that chair is gone, that's when people start asking questions. That's when they feel the absence. That's when they realize what they took for granted. You need to be that missing chair. Not for them, but for you. Because the truth is, you're not just holding on to them, you're holding on to who you were when you were with them. And I get it. That's terrifying, because if you let go, what happens next? Silence, emptiness. And you know what? That's exactly what you need. You need to sit with that silence instead of trying to fill it with their half-hearted presence. You need to feel that emptiness instead of stuffing it with false hope. You need to break the habit of chasing people who were never afraid to lose you in the first place. Because the second you stop, the second you truly disappear from their life, the power shifts. Not to them, but to you. And I know what you're thinking, but if I disappear, what if they forget me? Let them, because someone who can forget you that easily, someone who can move on without a second thought, someone who can live their life like you never even mattered, that's proof that you were never as important to them as they were to you. And I know it's a hard pill to swallow, but you need to swallow it, because the longer you stay in their orbit, the longer you keep trying to remind them of your worth, the longer you give them access to your heart, your energy, your presence, the longer you suffer. It's time to cut off their supply. You don't just walk away, you disappear. You stop explaining, you stop checking, you stop being available. And no, you don't do it as a game or a strategy or to get a reaction. You do it because you owe it to yourself to see what life looks like when you stop settling for half-hearted love. And yeah, at first, it's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel wrong. Your brain is going to scream at you to reach out, to break the silence, to do something, anything, to stop feeling invisible. But that's just fear talking. That's just your old patterns trying to keep you stuck. That's just your wounded self clinging to the idea that if you hold on long enough, they'll come back changed. They won't. And even if they do, they'll only come back because they miss the comfort of you being there, not because they respect you, not because they value you, not because they finally realized your worth. And if that's all it takes to get them back, that's all it'll take for them to take you for granted again. So do yourself a favor. Disappear, not for them, but for you. Let them sit in the silence they created. Let them feel the absence they never thought they'd have to face. Let them see what life is like without you in it. Because trust me, one day they'll look around and realize you're gone. And when that day comes, they'll finally feel what you felt for so long. But by then, it won't even matter to you anymore. If you're done being a second thought, if you're done handing your heart to people who never feared losing you, if you're ready to reclaim your power, then drop a comment right now. I choose myself. Say it, own it, live it. Number 3, kill their comfort. make them suffer. The worst pain isn't losing someone, it's realizing you'll never find them again. Let that sink in, because right now they're not worried. They're not losing sleep. They're not second-guessing anything. Why? Because they know you're still there. They know they can disappear and come back whenever they feel like it. They know they can ignore you, neglect you, push you away. And the moment they get bored, the moment they crave your attention, the moment their ego needs feeding, they can reach out and boom, you'll be right there acting like nothing ever happened. That's their comfort, and you've been giving it to them for free. You think they're the ones suffering? No, you are. Because every time they leave, every time they pull away, every time they show you exactly who they are, you still wait. You still hope. You still let them back in. And they know that. They know how to keep you on a leash. They give you just enough kindness, just enough attention, just enough "I miss you" messages to keep you holding on. But let me ask you something. If someone truly cared, would you have to wonder if they did? The answer is no. So here's the reality. This isn't about them not knowing your worth. They know it. They've always known it. They just never thought they'd have to earn it. And that changes today. Because today, the game ends. Today, you take away their comfort. You make them feel what it's like to truly lose you, not temporarily, not for a few weeks, not as some twisted test to see if they'll come back. No, this time, it's real. This time, there's no second chance, because nothing will ever haunt them more than realizing they lost someone who actually cared. See, when you finally stop playing, that's when their real suffering begins. Not when you cry, not when you beg, not when you send them a long emotional text trying to make them understand. No, they suffer when they realize you're gone, when they wake up one morning and that good morning text isn't there, when they have a bad day and go to check their phone only to realize you didn't reach out, when they look around and see that you're no longer available, no longer accessible, no longer waiting. And that's when the panic sets in, because suddenly they don't have a safety net. Suddenly they don't have someone they can run back to whenever life gets hard. Suddenly they're faced with a terrifying truth. They lost you, and not just anyone. You. The one who was always there, the one who loved without conditions, the one who gave them patience, loyalty, time, things they'll never find so easily again. And you know what? Let them suffer. Let them sit with the silence. Let them feel the emptiness of your absence, because they took you for granted. They thought you'd never leave. They thought they had time. But now time's up. And before you even think about feeling sorry for them, ask yourself this: did they ever feel sorry for how they made you feel? When you sat there questioning your worth? When you stayed up at night wondering if they ever truly cared? When they ignored you, dismissed you, made you feel invisible? No. So don't you dare feel guilty for choosing yourself, because the moment you stop being their comfort, the moment you take away their easy access to your energy, the moment you finally stop giving them the love they never earned, that's the moment their real suffering begins. And by then, it's too damn late. If you're done being someone's safety net, if you're done being the person they use but never truly value, then drop a comment right now. I refuse to be anyone's backup plan. Say it. Own it. Show the world you're done settling. Number 4, don't block them. Make them watch. Revenge isn't about hurting them. It's about showing them they never had the power to break you. Let that hit you, because right now, you think blocking them is the solution. You think cutting them off will make them realize what they lost. You think disappearing from their world will make them regret. No, that's too easy. They expect that. They expect you to be emotional, to overreact, to block them like some bitter, heartbroken fool. And when you do, it only feeds their ego. Look at them. Still pressed, still hurt, still not over me. That's the narrative they tell themselves, and you just gave them proof. So don't block them. Make them watch. Let them see you glowing. Let them see you laughing. Let them see you stepping into the best version of yourself without them. Let them scroll through their feed and see your name pop up, looking better than ever, living better than ever, surrounded by people who actually appreciate you. That's when it hits them. That's when the panic sets in. That's when they realize they lost you for good. Because here's what most people don't understand. Blocking someone isn't power. It's running, and you don't run. You make them sit in it. You make them feel every ounce of regret. You let them watch from the sidelines while someone else gets the love, the time, the loyalty they once took for granted. You don't go silent. You don't disappear. You don't hide. You make them witness the one thing they never thought they'd see. You completely unbothered. And I know what you're thinking, but what if they move on? What if they don't care? Good, let them try. Let them jump into something new, thinking they've upgraded. Let them post pictures with their next victim, trying to make you jealous. Let them put on a fake show like they're happier than ever, because deep down they'll always be watching you, comparing, regretting, wondering. And nothing will haunt them more than the moment they realize no one else feels like you. No one else matches your energy. No one else fills the space you left behind. And that's when reality slaps them in the face, because they thought they had time. They thought they could come back. They thought they could treat you like an option, and you'd always be there waiting. But now they realize they were just another lesson in your story, and that burns. That eats them alive. That's the kind of regret they never recover from. Because listen to me, people don't regret losing you when you disappear. They regret losing you when they see you moving forward, when they see you thriving, when they see you becoming everything they never thought you'd become. So let them watch. Let them check your profile and see you glowing. Let them hear your name and feel that gut punch of regret. Let them hear about you from mutual friends and wonder, damn, did I really let them slip away? Because yes, they did. And now it's too late. And no, this isn't about getting revenge. This isn't about them at all. This is about you stepping into your power. This is about you refusing to be the person who cries over someone who never deserved you in the first place. This is about you proving to yourself that you never needed them. And once you do that, once you truly let go, they'll never stop watching, because you were never the one who lost. They were. So if you're done being the one they take for granted, if you're done making excuses for people who never showed up for you, if you're done letting them think they still have access to you, then drop a comment right now. I refuse to be replaced. Say it. Own it. Let them watch you rise. Number 5. Stop being easy to replace. They didn't replace you. They replaced the version of you they thought would always be there. And now they think they've won. They think they've upgraded. They think they've found someone better. Good. Let them believe that, because here's the part they don't see coming. You're about to become unreplaceable. Right now, they don't get it. They think people like you come around all the time. They think they can swap you out like an old phone, trade you in for something new, something exciting. But there's something they forgot. Replacements are just placeholders. And when the thrill of the new wears off, when the fantasy starts fading, when they realize that no one is as patient, as loyal, as understanding as you, that's when the panic sets in. Because suddenly they're not feeling what they expected. Suddenly, the attention they once had feels empty. The conversations feel shallow. The connection feels forced. And then it hits them. They didn't just lose someone, they lost you. The one who actually cared, the one who saw them at their worst and still stayed, the one who gave them time, energy, love, things they'll never find so easily again. And now they can't go back, because by the time they realize it, you're gone. See, that's the mistake they made. They thought you were replaceable, They thought someone else could fill the space you left behind. But the truth is, you don't get replaced. You get remembered. And I know right now it hurts. Right now you're questioning your worth. Right now you're wondering, what did I do wrong? Nothing. You didn't lose them. They lost you. And what they're about to realize, what they will realize, is that they didn't trade up. They downgraded. Because people like you, they don't come around twice. And yeah, at first, they'll pretend like they're fine. They'll post their pictures, act like life is amazing, like nothing's changed. But behind closed doors, when they're alone with their thoughts, that's when the truth creeps in. That's when the comparisons start. And no matter how hard they try to convince themselves that they made the right choice, they'll never shake the feeling that something is missing. Because deep down, they know they gave up gold for a cheap imitation. And by the time they figure that out, by the time they regret it, by the time they wish they could turn back time, it's too damn late, because you aren't waiting. You aren't hoping they come back. You aren't sitting around wondering if they'll realize their mistake. No, you're leveling up. You're becoming the person they wish they never lost. You're stepping into your power, becoming a version of yourself that doesn't tolerate being taken for granted. And when they finally come back, and trust me, they will, they won't be met with the same person they walked away from. They'll be met with someone who doesn't even see them anymore. So if you're done letting people think they can replace you, if you're done being someone's temporary fix, then drop a comment right now. I am irreplaceable. Say it, own it, make them feel it. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and stay with me, because what's coming next is going to make sure that no one, and I mean no one, ever dares to take you lightly again. Number 6, make them question everything. Familiarity breeds contempt, but mystery breeds obsession. Let that sink in, because right now, they think they know you. They think they've got you all figured out. They know exactly how you'll react, exactly what you'll say, exactly how much you'll put up with. And that's why they don't fear losing you, because they're comfortable, because they've seen this movie before, and they already know the ending. You'll be there, waiting, forgiving, hoping, chasing. But what happens when you flip the script? What happens when the person they thought they knew disappears? When the version of you they were so sure about no longer exists? That's when the panic sets in. That's when they start questioning everything, because suddenly you don't respond like you used to. You don't jump to fix things. You don't reach out first. You don't give them the comfort of knowing you're still there, still available, still waiting. And that scares the hell out of them, because people don't regret losing you when you cry. They don't regret losing you when you beg. They regret losing you when you become someone they can't even access anymore. They regret losing you when they start asking themselves, did I ever really know them? And that's the thing. They didn't. They didn't know your worth. They didn't know your strength. They didn't know how easily you could disappear the moment you decided you were done. But now they're starting to see it. They're starting to wonder if they made a mistake. They're starting to second-guess everything, because the person they thought they could string along, the person they assumed would always be there, the person they thought needed them, that person doesn't exist anymore. And nothing messes with the human mind more than uncertainty. Because when they were sure of you, when they knew you'd always be around, they felt nothing. They didn't value you. They didn't appreciate you. They didn't fear losing you. But now they're checking their phone, wondering why you haven't texted. They're replaying old conversations, trying to find clues. They're scrolling through your social media, looking for answers. And that's how you win, not by proving your worth, not by explaining yourself, not by convincing them they lost something good, but by becoming someone they can't read anymore, by shifting so hard that they don't even recognize you, by making them question everything they assumed about you, because people take advantage of what they understand. They manipulate what they can predict. They use what they think they control, so take that control away. Make them wonder, make them overthink, make them feel the chaos they once made you feel. And no, this isn't about playing games. This isn't about making them jealous or getting them back. This is about reclaiming your power, because you were never meant to be an open book for someone who didn't respect the pages. You were never supposed to be predictable, convenient, easy to read. You are not their safety net. You are not their emotional punching bag. You are not someone they get to figure out and discard when it suits them. And the moment you show them that, that's the moment their regret begins. Not because you told them, not because you explained it, not because you made a big dramatic exit, but because they feel it. Because one day they'll wake up and realize they don't know you anymore, and that's when they start obsessing. That's when they start doubting everything. That's when they realize they messed up. But by then, you won't even care. If you're done being predictable, if you're done being taken lightly, if you're ready to become someone they'll regret losing forever, then drop a comment right now. They will never figure me out. Say it. Own it. Let them wonder. Number 7, never let them think you're waiting. If someone knows they can always come back, they'll never be afraid to leave. Let that sink in, because right now you think you're being strong. You think you're keeping the door open because you're a good person, because you believe in love, because you have hope that one day they'll wake up and realize what they lost. You're not being strong, you're waiting. And they can smell it. People have an instinct for weakness. They can feel when someone is still holding on, still checking their phone, still wondering, do they miss me? And the second they sense that, they stop feeling any urgency. They stop feeling any fear of losing you, because in their mind, they haven't lost you. They've just paused you. That's why they don't come back. Not because they don't care, not because they've moved on, but because they know they don't have to rush. They know you're still there. They know that no matter how much time passes, they can reach out one day with a casual, "Hey, how have you been?" And you'll respond. Tell me, does that sound like respect? Does that sound like someone who values you? Hell no. They don't see you as something rare. They see you as storage, like a jacket they threw in the back of their closet. They don't wear it, they don't think about it, but they also don't throw it away, because just in case they ever feel cold again, they want to know it's still there. That's what you are to them. An option, a backup plan, a placeholder. And here you are, still waiting, still hoping, still leaving the damn door unlocked. Enough. Here's your new rule. They either recognize your worth now, or they never get another chance. Not when they're bored, not when life gets tough for them, not when they've run out of other options and suddenly remember you. No. You are not waiting for someone to come back around. You are not standing at an open door while they're out there exploring every other option. You are gone. Because let me tell you something, people don't regret losing you when they know they can still have you. They regret losing you when they realize they never will again. And I know what you're thinking, but what if they truly love me? What if they really do come back? Listen to me. If they truly loved you, they never would have put you in a position where you had to wait. Real love doesn't ask you to put your life on hold. Real love doesn't walk away and expect you to sit in the same place. And if they do come back, it better be because they worked for it, because they fought for you, because they changed, not because they just missed you. Because there's a difference. Missing you is selfish. It means they feel lonely, nostalgic, or regretful. But it doesn't mean they respect you. It doesn't mean they've learned their lesson. It just means they want to feel the warmth of your presence again without putting in the effort to actually deserve it. Respecting you. That's different. That means they come back with actions, not words. That means they don't just say they regret losing you, they prove it. That means they don't expect you to be in the same place they left you. And if they don't, If they just reach out casually, hoping to slip back in like nothing happened, you leave them on read because you don't owe them a response. You don't owe them closure. You don't owe them another second of your time. You owe yourself the peace of knowing you finally chose you. So if you're done waiting, if you're done hoping, if you're done being a damn backup plan, then drop a comment right now. I refuse to wait for anyone. Say it, own it, live it. Number 8, burn the bridge and walk away forever. Never light yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. Let that sink in, because that's exactly what you did. You burned yourself down to keep them comfortable. You sacrificed your self-respect just to be chosen. You ignored every red flag, every gut feeling, every sleepless night, all because you hoped they'd finally see your worth. But they didn't. And do you know why? Because they never had to earn you in the first place. They knew you'd always be there, no matter how badly they treated you, no matter how much they neglected you, no matter how many times they disappeared and reappeared, expecting you to be right where they left you. And for the longest time, you were. But here's what they never saw coming: you finally waking the hell up. Because today, you're done. You're not just walking away, you're burning the damn bridge. And when they try to come back, and trust me, they will, there won't be a way back in. They'll reach out. They'll test the waters. Hey, how have you been? A sudden follow on social media. A half-hearted attempt to remind you they exist. But this time you don't respond. Not because you're being petty, not because you're trying to win, but because they already lost you. And that's what they never expected. They thought they had time. They thought they could take you for granted and still have a place in your life whenever they felt like it. But what they failed to realize is this: when you truly lose someone rare, there are no second chances. You don't open the door for someone who slammed it in your face. You don't rebuild a bridge for someone who set it on fire. You don't lower yourself for someone who needed to lose you just to see your worth, because you are not a revolving door. You are not an option. You are not someone they get to pick up and put down at their convenience. And I know what you're thinking, but what if they've changed? Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. But let me ask you this: why did it take losing you for them to realize your value? If they truly respected you, if they truly cared, they would have seen your worth while they had you. They wouldn't have risked losing you in the first place. So don't fall for their words, their late-night apologies, their sudden realization that you were the best thing that ever happened to them. Because here's the truth: they don't miss you, they miss what you gave them. They miss the way you made them feel. They miss the comfort of knowing you'd always be there. But now that comfort is gone, and that's their punishment. Let them sit in their regret. Let them feel the weight of losing someone who actually cared. Let them watch you move on, level up, and become the version of yourself they will never get access to again. And when they come knocking, you don't answer. You don't lower yourself for someone who only valued you when you were no longer available. You keep walking. You keep rising. You keep proving to yourself that you never needed them in the first place, because you are not someone's backup plan. You are not someone's second chance. You are the one that got away, and now they have to live with that. If you're done with second chances, if you're done letting people walk in and out of your life like you're a damn hotel, then drop a comment right now. I will never go back. Say it, own it, mean it. So folks, listen. This isn't about them. This is about you. About knowing your worth, about never settling for half-hearted love again. Because the moment you walk away for good, that's when everything changes. You don't beg, you don't wait, you don't look back. You become the one they can't forget. Now, if you're done letting people take you for granted, drop a comment. I choose myself. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Stay with me because what's coming next is going to make sure you never settle again.